We are counting down 10 places on Earth where maps go blank and science hits a wall. From burning craters that have raged for decades to crushing depths no sunlight has ever reached, each entry grows more hostile, more isolated, and more unknown than the last. Some can kill you in minutes. Others have never been touched by human hands. Our countdown begins with a pit burning since the Cold War. In the 10th place, a ring of fire blazes day and night in the heart of Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert. The Darvaza gas crater, known as the Gates of Hell, stretches nearly 70 meters across and plunges 30 meters deep, its rim scorched and blackened by endless methane flames. Soviet engineers set this inferno alight in 1971, hoping to burn off a leaking gas pocket. No one imagined it would still be burning half a century later. The air hangs heavy with carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide, a toxic plume drifting for kilometers in the desert wind. The ground itself is unstable, prone to sudden collapse as hidden karst caverns erode beneath the surface. Getting close is more than a physical risk. The area is guarded, riddled with unexploded ordnance from old military tests, and entry without a permit can trigger an armed response. Over 200 kilometers from the nearest city, surrounded by hostile terrain and legal barriers, the Darvaza crater stands as a man-made wound, fiery, forbidden, and fiercely protected from prying eyes. Number 9, North Sentinel Island, lies hidden in the Bay of Bengal, shrouded by dense jungle and an unbroken silence. For thousands of years, the Sentinelese have lived here, untouched by the outside world, fiercely protective, invisible to satellites, and seemingly immune to the march of time. A 5-kilometer exclusion zone circles the island, enforced by Indian law and patrolled by naval vessels. Crossing this invisible barrier without a government permit is a criminal act, punishable by up to 5 years in prison. The law is not just a line on a map, but a shield against catastrophe. The inhabitants have no defenses against common diseases. A single call for handshake could wipe out their entire population. Every intrusion carries the risk of tragedy, as seen in the 2015 death of a trespassing adventurer and the swift legal action that followed. Even unauthorized drone flights or research vessels are intercepted and fined. Here, the greatest danger is not the land or the sea, but the consequences of human contact itself. It is a place where the unknown must remain sacred, and the cost of curiosity is simply too high. 8th place. A green labyrinth stretches across the heart of Central Africa, where the Congo Basin peat swamps hold secrets beneath their flooded canopy. Here, sunlight barely pierces the tangled branches, and the ground itself is a shifting skin of ancient peat, storing more than 200 million tons of carbon in its depths. Less than a fifth of this vast wetland has ever been surveyed on foot, and the rest remains a patchwork of unmapped islands, invisible to satellite and impenetrable by road. Each expedition faces not only the threat of hidden sinkholes and sudden floods, but also the ever-present risk of malaria and other vector-borne diseases that thrive in the stagnant water. Scientists know that disturbing these swamps could unleash a wave of greenhouse gases, yet illegal logging and oil exploration press ever closer. The Congo Basin's true boundaries are still unknown, a fragile living archive where every intrusion brings the danger of unraveling a climate safeguard built over millennia. Number 7. Deep beneath the mountains of Chihuahua, a cavern pulses with lethal heat and silent grandeur. The Nika Crystal Cave is home to selenite crystals that grow like frozen lightning, some stretching 12 meters long, their surfaces glistening in the darkness. The air is thick, almost liquid, with humidity pressing against the skin at 90 to 100%, and temperatures soaring to 58 degrees Celsius. Without a protective suit, a human can survive less than 45 minutes before the body succumbs to the heat. Every step risks brushing against crystals so fragile that a careless touch could shatter them, erasing thousands of years of growth. Access is strictly controlled by mine operators, and only a handful of scientists have ever entered, each visit timed and monitored to the second. In this superheated underworld, the boundary between awe and danger is razor thin, a mineral cathedral sealed off from ordinary life where the smallest mistake becomes a matter of survival. Number 6 is a narrow fissure in the western Caucasus that plunges deeper than any other mapped cavern on Earth. Krubera Cave, also called Voronya, is where the known world ends in darkness and the unknown begins. Descending into its vertical maw means surrendering to a labyrinth of shafts, squeezes, and bottomless pits, each step measured by the length of a rope and the limits of human nerve. The cave's surveyed depth reaches an astonishing 2,197 meters, a drop so profound that it takes specialized teams days just to reach the lowest camps, stringing lifelines through icy waterfalls and claustrophobic chimneys. Oxygen thins, the air grows stale, and any accident below 1,000 meters becomes a logistical nightmare. Rescue estimates stretch beyond 9 days with no guarantee of survival. Every expedition is a gamble against hypoxia, sudden flooding, and the silent pressure of rock above. In Krubara, the vertical descent is not just a measure of depth, but a test of endurance and the razor edge of fear, reminding us that some frontiers are conquered not by distance, but by the sheer weight of the unknown pressing overhead. Number 5. The Danakil Depression in Ethiopia radiates an otherworldly menace, a landscape where the earth boils and the air itself can kill. Here, the Dalol hydrothermal field bubbles with pools so acidic their pH drops to nearly zero, and vents blast steam at temperatures soaring above 108 degrees Celsius. The ground is stained neon yellow and emerald green by chemical reactions that would dissolve human skin in seconds. Clouds of hydrogen sulfide and halogen gases drift across the crust, forcing scientists to don full-body protective suits just to collect a sample. Yet even with the best gear, no one stays longer than 30 minutes at a time. Every step risks contact with toxic brine or a sudden venting of lethal gas. Despite these dangers, life persists. Extremophile microbes thrive in these caustic pools, challenging our understanding of where biology can exist. The Danakil's alien chemistry draws researchers hunting for clues to life beyond Earth, but the price of discovery is paid in sweat, caution, and the constant awareness that this is a place where the planet itself seems hostile to human presence. Number 4. The abyssal plains and Hadal trenches stretch across the ocean floor like a hidden world, silent and immense. In these lightless depths, the landscape is so vast that it dwarfs every continent combined. Yet only about 20% has ever been seen in high detail. The rest remains a mystery, mapped only by the faintest echoes from satellites, leaving hundreds of thousands of square kilometers untouched by science. Here, the pressure crushes steel and the cold is absolute, but life clings to the darkness in forms no one expected. Colonies of tube worms, bacteria that feed on chemicals instead of sunlight, entire communities thriving where the sun's energy never reaches. Each attempt to explore these zones demands robotic vehicles that cost over $50,000 for a single day at depth. These missions are rare, precious, and fleeting. Beneath the sediment, a silent force is at work. The abyssal plains lock away more than 1 billion tons of carbon, acting as the planet's hidden memory, buffering the atmosphere from runaway change. Yet with so much still unmapped, the true scale of these carbon vaults and the alien life they protect remains out of reach. In the abyss, the unknown is measured not just in distance, but in the weight of secrets the Earth still keeps. Coming to the top 3, a hidden world breathes beneath the fields of southeastern Romania. Moval Cave has been sealed from the surface for an estimated 5.5 million years. Its entrance was discovered only by accident in 1986. Inside, the air is thick with hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. Oxygen hovers around 7%, far below what humans can survive. The atmosphere is so toxic that a single, unfiltered breath can leave a visitor gasping. Yet in this suffocating darkness, life has found a way. 48 species exist nowhere else on Earth, including blind millipedes, translucent leeches, and spiders that never see daylight. These creatures draw energy not from sunlight, but from bacteria feeding on chemical reactions in the cave's rocky walls, a process called chemoautotrophy. The entire ecosystem is a closed biosphere, untouched and utterly alien. Entry requires full biosafety gear. Even the smallest contamination could shatter the balance. Moval Cave is not just unexplored. It is a living laboratory and a reminder that the most extraordinary forms of life thrive where humans cannot follow. Number 2. Lake Vostok lies entombed beneath nearly 4,000 meters of Antarctic ice, a hidden sea sealed off from sunlight for at least 15 million years. When Russian scientists breached the surface in 2012, the ice cracked with a sound like distant thunder, revealing a world untouched since before humans existed. The lake itself sprawls across more than 12,000 square kilometers, its dark water held in absolute isolation by the weight of a continent. Every attempt to sample its depths is governed by the Antarctic treaties, strict environmental protocols, sterile drilling rigs, biocide wash tools, and a mandate to remove every drop of waste. The International Association for the Study of Subglacial Lakes imposes guidelines so severe that even a single microbe from the surface could trigger an ecological disaster. Only meltwater has been collected so far, and even that under the watchful eye of international observers. Some scientists believe ancient life may still linger in the black water, a genetic time capsule, or a threat waiting to escape. Here, the greatest danger is not what we might find, but what we might unleash. Lake Vostok remains a forbidden laboratory, its secrets locked beneath a fortress of ice and law, a final threshold before the deepest frontier. And finally, in first place, Challenger Deep, the heart of the Mariana Trench, where the known world ends in a silence so profound it presses against steel and bone. In 1960, Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh descended in the bathyscaphe Trieste, describing the hull creaking like an ancient tree as they dropped to nearly 10,984 meters. Here, the water exerts a crushing force, over 1,100 atmospheres, enough to flatten a car as easily as a tin can. Only a handful of crewed missions have ever reached this abyss: Trieste, James Cameron's 2012 solo descent, and a few robotic explorers. Yet more than 80% of the deep ocean remains unmapped, its terrain hidden beneath kilometers of black water. The physics of pressure here defy imagination. Materials warp, electronics fail, and even the most advanced submersibles risk implosion at the slightest flaw. Every expedition is a gamble against the void, a fleeting glimpse into a realm where Earth's greatest secrets remain sealed. The Challenger Deep stands as the planet's ultimate frontier, a reminder that some mysteries are locked away not by distance, but by the sheer impossibility of survival. Across all 10 frontiers, one chilling pattern emerges. Earth still hides entire worlds beyond our reach, where human curiosity meets the unknown and nature refuses to yield her secrets. These places remind us, true mysteries are not found in legends, but in the shadows that still linger on our own planet.